Well, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Touch. I'm Darwin Campbell. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaps for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. I'm excited to be here this morning to help you start your week off on the right track. Um, when I think about what's needed more than anything in this world today, it is a group of people willing to march out into their workplaces, into their schools, and promote the idea of peace. Promote the idea of peace. So today's message is a message that in today's world, where violence seems to be the only alternative, where revenge seems to be the number one priority, we're marching out this morning and asking you to start your week in a anti-cultural way. Start your week off with a revolutionary principle. Start your week off in a way that is downright old-fashioned. And that is consider peacemaking in a turbulent culture where revenge is served up hot. It is time for the child of God to be that person, to teach the world about calmer, cooler heads, my friends. Yes, that's anti-cultural and revolutionary, but it can be done. Jesus promoted that calmer, cooler heads should prevail. Jesus was not a vengeful person when he walked this earth. Quite the opposite. He encouraged people to love one another. He encouraged people to understand and to communicate with one another. He never promoted war. He never promoted revenge. He never promoted hate. And today we need to be the ones to start the trend. Child of God, I challenge you to be the calmer head in a society that is full of turbulence and full of revenge and full of getting people back. My friends, I challenge you to be the one that promotes a calmer head. I go to the book of Romans, chapter 12, verses 17 through 21. There are three principles there that I want to bring out this morning. Number one, verse 18 says, beginning with verse 17, recompense no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men. Number one, we need to set the trend in society to be the ones that do not promote vengeance. We need to be the group of people, the light and the salt of the world, who teaches the world to live at peace, to be the cooler head, not to seek confrontation, not to egg on a fight, not to promote vengeance. We need to show a different side. We don't need to take on the traits that the devil wants us to present. We need to take on the traits of Jesus. Show a different side. You see, this generation in 2022 does not understand a different perspective. They don't understand the anti-cultural message of not being vengeful or taking vengeance. Recompense no man evil for evil. Do not seek to pay people back for the evil they do to you. It's not about winning a fight, winning a battle, or winning a skirmish. It's about doing what is right, my friends. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men and live peaceable with all men. Do not be vengeful. That's principle number one. Cooler heads must prevail if we're going to change the world. I can't change the world if I'm running around mad all the time, upset all the time, blowing up all the time, wanting to fight all the time, wanting to shoot and kill someone all the time. My friends, my life would be miserable, and I'm going to make others miserable with me. It is time for you to see the biblical principle. Do not be vengeful. Number 2, verse 19 tells it to us as well. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place under wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Underline that verse. Vengeance is mine, saith Darwin? No. Vengeance is mine, saith Susan? No. Vengeance is mine, saith Gabe? No. Vengeance is mine, saith Pam? No. Vengeance is not ours, my friends. You cannot go around taking the law into your own hands. God says, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. You must understand, in a society that wants to get you back, in a society that wants to make you pay, in a society that says get them back, whatever means necessary, God says that's not your job. God says it's my job to deliver judgment. It's my job to deliver vengeance. It's not your job. We are to be nice and kind to one another. We ought not to give place to wrath and to evil. You see, the devil loves confrontation. The devil loves fights. The devil loves people to hate one another. The devil loves when folks can't see eye to eye. God calls us away from vengeance. He calls us to live at peace with one another. He calls us to love one another. He calls us to be peacemakers. My friends, what does that simply mean? Being nice and kind enough not to give evil the ground to go. You see, what happens with evil is this. We plant it in our heart. We fertilize it by constantly thinking about it and rolling it over and over and over in our minds. And then sooner or later, at the proper time, we harvest that evil. We harvest that vengeance. We harvest that hate. And then it comes out in the form of some nasty act. Whether we punch somebody out, we cut their tires, we shoot them, we break their windows, we key their car. Something comes out of all of that planting and watering and fertilizing and then harvesting that evil. My friends, it's no good. It's no good for your soul to harbinger that type of spirit. The devil will use you over and over and over again. He'll take your anger and he'll plant it, he'll water it, and then you'll harvest it. And the next thing you know, you're doing 10 to 20 in the penitentiary and you don't know why. Think about it. We must learn to fence our wrath. We must learn to harvest that anger and keep it at bay, my friends. What I'm saying is we need to learn to show the Jesus side. There is a Jesus side in every last one of us. I don't care how mean you are, how evil you are, how unchristian you are, or how atheistic or agnostic you are. Doesn't matter. There is some Jesus in you. And my friends, if you don't go out seeking revenge, if you practice kindness and gentleness in your life and don't fertilize evil, if you show the Jesus side and the God man inside of you, you'll surprise the world. No one expects that type of spirit. They always expect you to give it back to them the way they gave it to you. Why don't you surprise the world? Why don't you surprise the world? Don't flip a person off. Don't yell back at them in traffic. Don't honk your horn at them. Surprise the world. Show them that you can be different by showing them the God side and the Jesus side in you. And then number three. Therefore, if thy enemy hunger, feed him. If your enemy thirsts, give him drink. For in doing so, you shall heap coals of fire on his head. My friends, when you do right by God's way, the vengeance that the Lord heaps upon them doesn't come from you, it comes from God. We are told, do good to people that do not do us properly or right. If your enemy hungers, feed him. Thirst, give him drink. Heap coals of fire on his head, because you're overcoming the evil with good. Amen. Overcoming the evil with good. You're being exactly opposite what the world calls you to do. We live in a bloodthirsty world. We live in a vengeful society. We live in a culture that says, get you before you get me. Jesus and God is not like that. When someone approaches you in a negative way, you need to step up and show your God side. Be the opposite of a bloodthirsty culture. Be the opposite of that desire for revenge. Be the flower and be the bee. Smell like a flower. Pollinate the truth. Bring positive into the dark hearts of others by doing what is right, even when they're doing what's wrong. Feed them good, even though they're serving up evil. Let me say that again. Feed them the good, even though they serve up evil. Because when you feed them good while they're serving evil, God will bless you, and vengeance is the Lord's. So the message today is simple. Overcome evil with good. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Don't you want to be called a children of God? Don't you want to be part of that family? Jesus himself wraps his arms around you and say, these are my children, the peacemakers. These are my children who are different from the world. These are my children who show the Jesus side and the God side over the bloodthirsty attitudes and the vengeful spirits of the world. My friends, let's show our God side this week. Let's show the Jesus side. Let's be peacemakers and change the world with our speech, with our attitude, and with our lives. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chapters for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. We know we said a mouthful, but please go and try to digest it. The call is for you to be different from the world. Change the world with an attitude that I will not have the spirit of vengeance, but I will overcome evil with 100% good. Go forth and make it a great day. See you next time on The Morning Touch. God bless you.